Hey guys, how's it going? I'm going to show you how to make a door open and close in Unity. I do apologize, this video might be a tad bit long, but I'm going to try to cram it with relevant information rather than irrelevant information all the time. So to start, basically we're going to have this door, open. We can close it from the other side and open it from the other side. So that's the behavior we're going to be going for. Now I'm going to be using this cube door for this example. Reason being is because my door model actually, as you can see right here with this little kind of opaque circle, might be a little bit hard to see, but that's where my pivot point is on my model. Maybe you have a door model that your heart is set on and you don't want to find a new one. This cube over here, you can see its pivot point is in the center, and so this animation wouldn't work right. So the way you can get around that is if you make your door a child of an empty game object and you just position your empty game object roughly around where the pivot's going to be, you can then get a pretty similar effect to what I'm going for. Alright, cool. So what we need to do now is we need to have this highlighted and we need to open up the animation window. I have it docked down here. If you don't have it, you can press Control 6 or just go to Window and then Animation. And with this game object selected in the hierarchy, click Create, and I'm going to call this Close Door, or actually Close Cube, because I already have an animation titled that. Alright, cool. So if you've ever used like Flash, this is going to be pretty similar. We're going to add a property, and it's going to be the rotation. Now I'm going to just click the left mouse button and hold it and drag so both of these are selected. And if you click this red button, you can type in whatever rotation you want here in Y. I'm actually going to hold Control and just hold the rotation like that, and you can see it snaps nice and evenly. So maybe if you want your door to like slide or something like that, you can do it that way as well. I'm gonna go ahead and stop record. Let's play it. Yep, that looks like a door closing. Very nice. We're going to go ahead, select these again, just press Control C to copy it, and with this drop down, create a new clip. Open cube. Cool. I'm going to click right here at about a second and press Control V, and then we're going to go back, make sure the white line's here, and click Add Keys. And these defaulted to 90, so we want to hit Record and set these to 0. And you want to make sure you have these highlighted. So now when we play, yeah, the door opens. Excellent. Okay, now that we have our two animations, we also do have this animator. You may have noticed that when you made the animation, you got an animator component automatically attached to your game object, which is super cool. Go ahead, double click on this. This is the animator window. It's kind of like our brain, if you will. If for some reason maybe you got a screen like this, if you hold the middle mouse wheel and just kind of drag along with the mouse, you want to look for this. The other way to get to it is just click Window, Animator. And the last thing I should mention is maybe all your animations, like you've looked around and they're not here for some reason. These are your animations down here, so you can just drag it in to the window, and yeah, should look like this. Alright, so by default, if we go ahead and play our game, our door is going to just keep playing the closed door animation, and that's not the behavior we want. So first thing is you can see it kept looping, is if you are in the project window, just check loop time off. Same thing with open cube, we don't want our animations to loop. Alright, now back in the animator window, you could see by default it was going to play the closed door animation. So now if we were to play it would just play it once, and we don't want it to play it at all. We just want it to do nothing. So if you right click, create new state, and then empty, I'm going to get this, right click it, and set as the default layer. Excellent. So now nothing's going to happen when we play. It's just going to be a boring door. Now with new state selected, you'll see it's highlighted in blue. Right click again, just make transition, highlight open cube, make transition, highlight close. You kind of get the idea. Cool. So we have this triangle set up. We also want to make sure we're on parameters up here. It'll kind of be pressed in. Click on the plus button, go to bool, we'll call this open. Click on it again, make another bool, close. All right, cool. So when we click here on this transition, we want to check off has exit time, and then in the conditions, click the plus, and it should by default go to open is true, which is what we want. Click on this transition, has exit time is off, and we're going to set this to close. Has exit time is basically just saying, like, you know, if something were to happen, it's going to finish the animation. We want to interrupt the animation, so if you were just, you know, pushing the E button over and over, it would keep opening and close the door non-stop. All right, and we don't need to make a transition for the last one. All right, so now the last thing I have is the sphere collider. Reason why I use a sphere collider is because, you know, you're rotating the door, so this should capture kind of the general facility of where the player is going to be, like when they're kind of next to the door. And this is what we're going to use with the script to help trigger our animations. So I actually have my script over here. Do I have it open already? I do. Excellent. So if you want to go ahead, just pause the video and kind of copy this stuff down, more than welcome to, but I'm just going to quickly explain it real quick than rather have, you know, type it out as we go. You want two bools. One is open, set to false. The other one is next to door, set to false. Is open, just seeing if the door is open or not. Is next to door is checking to see if the player's in the sphere collider. And you want a public door animator. So down here is on trigger exit and on trigger enter. I had that kind of backwards, but this is where you just set the bool to true and false. So if they're inside the sphere collider, it's true. If they're not, it's false. Now in update, this is kind of where our logic goes in. If the player is next to the door and they push the E key and the door is not open yet, we're going to click on door.setBool. And setBool is part of the animator. And if we go back to here, this is what it's getting a hold of, is these parameters. So whatever you name these, you want to make sure they're spelled exactly the same in here. And because this is a string, if you spell it wrong, you're not going to get an error. I hate that about strings, but yeah, just make sure that, you know, you can just copy this exactly how it is and it'll work just fine. We're going to set that to true, and is open is also going to be true. Else, if we're next to the door and we push E and the door has already been open, we're going to play the close animation. We're going to set open to false, and the door is no longer open. And this last if statement is open equal to true, set close to false. And we kind of do a little bit up here, but the reason why we're, you know, resetting it is basically if we were to do just the if statement and the else if, both of these would get toggled after you open the door for the first time, and the door would just keep looping and looping and looping, which is not the behavior we want. So we just have that last if statement to kind of reset everything. All right, so if we go back into game, you want to make sure that you add your script to your sphere collider, and then you're going to take your door, you're going to take your door and just drag it into the animator. It's getting a hold of this component right here. All right, so if we go into game, we press play, we go up to it and press E. Hey, our door opens and closes. Woohoo! And yeah, that's basically it. Hope this video helps you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys next time.